This is your daily market review, Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review, Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. Sorry I didn't do a recap yesterday. I got too busy, but ultimately, again, I'm basically a broken record. Until the Fed meeting, I think we chop around with the potentialities of going higher, but also knowing that there's not really a lot of upside or downside risk, in my opinion, as well. Like, whatever's going on in the trade agreements seems to be standard issue. Again, no one would be surprised by any means if some bad news came out, but then this is what always happens. There'll be a talk later, or there'll be this. So we know Japan's coming to talk the 16th through the 18th. We know the Fed meeting's next week. We know the seasonality is typically up or even sideways until the end of June. So I'm positioning myself to play up trades. And again, if you've been following, you know what we're in. I'll talk about it again in the video. And also looking at potential shorts in tech coming up. But again, not going to be early, or try to be. Again, 30% of the time I'm spot on, but more times than not I'm going to be early to a trade. That's just the nature of the beast. So again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link description below. This channel is for education purposes. Again, if you decide to ultimately act on anything in this video, please do yourself a favor. Talk to a financial advisor, consult with your consigliere of your family, and just do your own homework here, because ultimately you are empowering yourself education-wise to think of the market through the probability-based lens to ultimately manage your own money. If you can do that, you don't need to spend the 1, 2, 3, 4% management fees. Your future exponential, your gains will be exponential in the future. And again, you want to be the one to learn this. This stuff is not rocket science. As Eric and I love to joke, trading isn't hard. It's just not. The markets aren't hard. We make it hard. Emotions make it hard. So let me know how I can help. If you'd like to chat, it's been 30 minutes. Let's get on an introduction chat. Use the link in the description below. Again, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate and you have not hit me up, what a gut punch. Again, I love helping people out. You get 2 agents for the price of 1. I will find you the best agent in your area to hit your goals and needs, not only to maximize the most amount of money, but also find great deals if needed. Again, I appreciate all the love, support, and generous donations. If you want to donate to the channel, link description below. Again, got a nice donation from Sam today. Again, I appreciate it. Again, every little bit matters. I mean, I energetically spend my time and energy to help folks. I don't ask for anything. So if you decide to donate, know it's going to the energetic cause. Those who donate, no, imagine that, seem to make the most amount of money. So again, follow, like, subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, posting ideas, especially on the Twitter. Again, if you join the Discord room, if you want to get involved in it, and as I tell people, if you join the Discord room and you do not comment, introduce yourself, it will eventually boot you. Again, there's so many bots out there on Discord. I'm looking to help real people, not people who just want to rip us off or follow. So you get permissions in the group. And the more that you're involved, the more permissions you get. It's all free again. Again, check out thetradingagent.com. Also a great asset resource for tons of things. Recommended reading, post ideas, thoughts, old education videos, whatever. All right, Fear and Greed Index says 64. I think it's 64, if I remember correctly. Yep, we're not at extreme. So can the market grind higher? You bet your sweet ass it can. Can it chop around? Yep. It's just kind of a wide open place. So don't get your nuts in a vice. Or I'm trying to think of what the woman version of that or whatever. Again, don't get your pants in a wad. We'll see what happens here, because we have the Fed meeting coming up in July, in next week, next Wednesday. There's no rate cut expected. It's the July and September meetings where things start getting funky, especially in the fall. That's why, again, I've talked about, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the summer was a chop around and then till August, September, and then a massive pullback, and then that pullback leads to cutting rates. And again, I'm like a broken record. I don't need to go there yet. Bitcoin. Again, trusted about 0%. Again, not because I don't like Bitcoin, because I've seen this pattern before. When it breaks out, it breaks out. Breaks out, cool. People are like, well, you're wrong on gold. I'm like, well, I've owned gold for a long term. I don't get, again, second quarter is always typically weak. I don't know what to say. I don't have to have an opinion to try to convince anyone anything. Again, at this point, it looks like a choppy range until we break out. People go, oh, it's about to break out. Okay, let it go. Go. Again, if you want to buy up here with a tight stop, now that makes sense. It's just buying it in between the ranges. Again, you try to buy the extremes. and then see what happens up here. Because if it doesn't break out, it could do the same thing over and over. Oil, as we talked about, like oil, acting strong. Mid-50s, probably the floor for now. Again, unless things fall off a cliff, which I don't see them right this moment, I wouldn't be shorting oil names. Natural gas, again, I like natural gas long-term, expecting chop. I would like to see it pull back, but you know what? I don't get to see everything I'd like. The dollar, not much to say there. Again, as we talked about, looking for the consolidation. And the consolidation meaning, you know, hey, unless something actually goes crazy in the dollar, that's all I'm really watching for. Dollar weakness seems to be good for commodities, hence, again, our favorite sector. Hey, hot diggity damn. TLT seems to be stuck around. Again, you have CPI data tomorrow. You got PPI on Thursday. You have all sorts of fun. The fun gets started with data tomorrow and Thursday, and then you have kind of a vacuum between next Wednesday. So again, don't get nuts trying to expect something to happen. Again, the people are going to wait for what the Feds are going to say. It's typically how it goes. So VIX, as we talked about, people want to buy it here. Again, if you're buying long-dated August calls on the VIX, July, I mean, that makes sense here. But again, if you're trying to pick the bottom, it's going to be tough. Unless you're betting on news, which you have a magic crystal ball that can predict the news, fudge, yeah, share it with the channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, your friend, the VIVIX, again, we talk about typically bottoms first, which it looks like it has. I just don't know when the volatility picks up. Well, again, my probability-based mind says it's going to be after the Fed meeting. You're welcome. If it doesn't, and I'm wrong, guess what? That happens. Again, chop until the FOMC meeting, take out new highs, and then pull back. Again, bears just getting crushed. And again, I've been there, done that. I mean, it's being on the wrong side of the trade. Again, our win percentage is about 82%. You're going to be wrong 18. Well, again, most traders more like 50-50. But here's the thing. It's how you handle being wrong. And being wrong, you don't want to invest in. It's like had in the chat in the Discord room. Most people hold on. You know, that again, they have very loose stops entering, so their losses are big, and then they don't hold trades long enough. Again, I can only imagine shorts are just feeling the pain. IWM, again, QQQ holding up pretty well. Again, I'm looking at the IWM. As we talked about, I like, if you're going to pick an actual, like, massive ETF, SPY, QQQ, IWM, DIA, I'm going IWM all damn day. And we talked about why, because mid caps, small caps have underperformed for the last 5 años. Going a whole lot of, oh, that's the DIA. 5 años. Whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Look at this big ass consolidation range. And again, the weightings are underweighted. Everyone's underweight small caps. You're welcome. Look at that big, beautiful beast if you would have bought. Again, I know personally and family and friends loaded the fudging boat in small caps down here. So congrats. DIA has United Healthcare. I mean, I'd be watching how that acts, because that's going to either lift or sink this mother. Gold. I didn't even look at gold once today. Look at that. It went nowhere. Again, probably going to go nowhere to the Fed meeting unless some like big trade deal news comes out, or I don't know. Is there going to be a peace in the Middle East or peace in Ukraine, Russia? Probably not. Silver. Again, Q2 is typically weak for gold. Silver broke out, which again, I got to give, people credit for that conviction. Again, as someone who's been trading silver for a long time, I'm like, I don't believe silver until it shows itself. It showed itself, and we talked about it, but I still, again, it's like now gold's lagging. So it's like, which one is it going to be? Gold miners, we talked about these breaking out. They're not following through. GDXJ holding up a little better. We want to see that with the juniors, but let's keep an eye on it. AEM, like this stock should be flying to the moon. Again, second quarter consolidation at worst in gold after a big run up, because usually the run goes from mid-December till the first quarter. And then there's also a run post weakness of the second quarter, and it usually starts either mid-June, end of June, or July. And we're at neither. So I'm not going to get on board. AG. Right? Again, maybe that's the trade, right? If you want to play the summer pullback, I don't know. I'm going to write that. Metals. I'm going to put that next week. See how they act. Again, silver is holding up, so credit where credit's due. Again, AG, this thing finally woke up out of the dead. I mean, this thing's gone nowhere fast, but it seems to be waking up. Again, Newmont, like, again, I hate to say it. Again. But I feel like I have to. This thing, Newmont should be taking out 58. It ain't. Pass. I like that they're buying mag silver again. Why not leverage silver when it's going to go higher? So nice trade on their part to merge. Keep an eye on it. Taiwan Semi, good news. Their metrics were good. Again, this is where I feel blessed that I have not stepped in front of shorting tech, because it's only a cost you as of right now. Now some names not as haven't been holding up at all or just chopping around. But again, semis, I like the short. I started kind of digging deep in there, and I'm like, ooh, okay, these things are nicely moving higher. Again, we talked about they were all due. If you zoom out, like, look at these things. They've been absolutely, some of them absolutely just throttled. We said AMD 200-day, right? It was coming. It was coming. You're welcome. Again, I'm not always bearish or always bullish, but there you go. NVIDIA. I like NVIDIA right here, right? Like this to me looks like the left shoulder. Could we retest the highs? Doesn't seem that the gusto. Again, law of large number, $3 trillion company. They are not. They are not. Let me repeat. Worth $3 trillion. Just putting that in reminder myself. Do not forget, when you start looking at semi-shorts, look at NVIDIA. That to me is the gold standard short, in my opinion. People are like, are you crazy? It's like, yeah, because everyone thinks it's the opposite. Who is left to buy if everyone thinks it's amazing? SMCI, chopping around again. I like the idea of watching this, but I have no trades on this. Intellectual properties, we talked about 18, 19 area, pop. Hey, look at that. Big green today. Again, I would like to see this get taken out at some point. I'm tired of talking about it. Save a spot on the daily market recap. AVGO popped on earnings, gave it back. Now remember, the first dip typically gets bought. 20-day, old highs to the left. SMH, patience. And again, I mean, I'm always grateful when I don't lose money, because I know my patterns. Like, I would have shorted the absolute dog shit out of this stuff at 250. Here it comes into this upper range. I'm like, all righty then. Man, what a gift. Keeping an eye on this going into next week. Here you go. I'm just like putting tons of stuff in my journal right now, because again, I raise cash if you guys are following. SMH, schmeh. I'd be watching 265 pluser. 265. Keep an eye on that. Again, I know Eric's all over it. I appreciate it. Again, I think the best way to play it will probably be shorting Soxel. We're at the price. Oh, wow. Holy shit, this is back at 21. This thing was at, what, 7? Not too long ago? Yeah. Shorting that or shorting NVIDIA. That's kind of my idea on that. And whether you like that or not, okay. And, yeah, just, again, I always take notes because I love reviewing this stuff. Again, you have to love the process. SMH again, 265 plus. I'd be watching. Again, I'm usually early, so don't get here and get your butt in a wad if you're early. It's, again, define your risk, layer in. I don't go all in. All in is binary thinking. Sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right, but more times than not, binary thinking and going all or nothing is just the worst trade possible. Again, you have to layer in. Adobe has earnings coming up Thursday after the close. Keep an eye on it. Apple, as we talked about, permanent purgatory chop. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Even like their news yesterday at their event, no one gave a shit. Neither do I. Other tech would be worth trading. Amazon, this one seems to be building, looking pretty good. Again, now you're going to get stuck at the 220s potentially. Meta, OMG, like a teenager. Again, we talked about buying this down at the lows, rode it up. Now, I know some people have been riding up to the 700 level. Congratulations. Hot diggity damn. Again, I'm not shorting this one, but this is one that, again, if you bought Metu, man, I remember this thing was low at trading in almost like 19. Here you go. Daily double. Again, you should probably be managing positions, layering out. Nice trade, guys and gals. CRM, keep an eye on this one. Just been chopping. It kind of feels like a head and shoulders bottom, but I don't trust it. Guggenheim seems to be building. Congratulations. Talked about, again, all these names. I mean, look at the ones acting better than others. Thank God you don't own Apple. Microsoft ripped to the highs and, yeah, making new highs, but it's been a little slower. NDAQ, I like this. Man, I got to put that one back on. NDAQ, again, I think the Nasdaq gets crushed. Man, if you can get, I thought 84 was a gift. 87, 88, I mean, all of them. The higher it climbs, the better. I'm not in this, so the higher it goes, the better. More reward for the risk. Love it. MicroStrategies, we talked about. If Bitcoin's going to break out, this son of a biscuit needs to break out. It seems to be lagging. Someone knows something? Netflix. Speaking of being early to trades, again, we talked about how this was due to pull back shortly after the first and last 3 business days of the month. And it got up there, and then kapow. Now someone go, kapow? I mean, shit. Would you take $70? I would on a short. Near term, again, first dip typically gets bought. So if you are playing the game like we do, you go, all right, I will wait for a retest. And 1250, where's that little guy? I'd be watching 1250s. You're welcome. Roadblocks, this one just makes me feel sad. I mean, we talked about this thing in the 20s, didn't trade it, whatever. Watch for leadership. Seems to be holding up pretty well. Again, I wouldn't go chasing. Don't go with chasing. CrowdStrike, again, we like certain tech, especially the ones that deal with cybersecurity. Seems to be holding up pretty well post earnings. PanW, again, it feels like it ran up to 200. Comes right back down. Keep an eye on this one. Tesla, I was wrong. I thought this stuff would take a couple days to wash out. Clearly, you bulls, you son of a bitches just can never get enough of it. Hey, congratulations if you bought that extreme. I mean, we identified. We actually talked about buying it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait for a retest. Well, here you go. Here's Dan being wrong. Happens again. It's like there's 58 stocks or whatever on this. Like, am I going to be right on? No, fuck no. Congrats if you bought it. Watch what happens if it fills the gap. All right, let's get into some of these other stocks that we're following. Palantir, again, people talk about shorting. I'm like, I don't think there's much to do here. Just let it play out. I don't have an idea on it. It just seems to be holding up. And the big, beautiful bill comes, then maybe it goes higher. Insight, we talked about this being a buyout target in the mid-50s. Congratulations, HIMS. I trust this zero. Again, their business is so duplicable, it doesn't even make sense why anyone would invest real money into this thing other than trying to get rich quick. And the people who did, probably from the original investors did, and now they are unloading. In my opinion, look at the volume. I would keep an eye on it. Baba. We talked about this, wanting to see at 110, didn't get there. We got the blue box, and we got the bounce. Near term, I don't know. McDonald's had a double ground. Somebody double downgraded it today. Back at the 200-day. Typically bottoms here, but I heard their business isn't going so well. And the more that we talk about health in this country, McDonald's food does not make you healthy. Starbucks whined and complained that I thought this was a bottom. I said I should be watching the 50-day. Missed it. All right, there you go. Set up to the 200, 100-day cross. If someone else didn't miss it, congratulations. Airbnb, talked about this one holding up really well. All right, congrats. Coin, I don't trust. Coinbase, I think it's not the best of breed, but we'll see what happens. There seems to be chopping. DKNG, talked about even the dead cat bounce of dead cat bounces happens for these names. But again, I don't think gambling's so competitive. ESPN, Barstool, anybody runs a book here. Every casino, yeah, I'm gonna lay off of that one. I know after the NBA finals and hockey finals are done, do you think people are gonna be? What are they betting on? Women's softball? No, that just ended. I guess Little League softball is the next big betting summer trend. Oh my God. Costco, again, we talked about watching what happens when it retests the highs. Zoom out, like this thing has just been a boss. It's probably due to consolidate for a while. So if you shorted the high, congratulations. I didn't. FedEx, we talked about the mid to 10, 15 area plus. There you go. Congratulations. Again, a lot of these names like, oh, I want to short the market. I'm like, show me some shit that just makes me think that it's going to go down. And I'm just not seeing it yet, which, again, maybe I don't see it until the news happens. But as of right now, again, financial seem to be holding up. Hood was going to get added to the S&P 500. Didn't. Chopping. It's even holding up. JP Morgan seems to be holding the 20-day. I mean, is it building? Now, remember, typically we'll get a pullback at the end of June. We'll keep an eye on these names just chopping around. Bank of America, chop, chop, chop around. Goldman Sachs, chop, chop around. Not much carry. And again, if the market's going to dump, why the hell is the carry back near the highs? Again, I've been in that position where you're just totally wrong, or you're hedging, or you're doing things, and you're going, well, I'm just scared the world's going to end. The market loves to rise when everyone thinks the world's going to end. And then once everyone capitulates back in, the world's not going to end. Then it pulls back, and then the world ends. Or not really, but you get the pullback that gets the logic from which you came from to be confirmed, even if it's for a short period of time. XBI, it's a mind game, y'all. I'm telling you. XBI, again, we talked about junior bios. If you bought at the lows, hot diggity damn. Even the Jets are getting W's during the summer. This might be the only time they get it. We talked about these everything bouncing, even housing. Housing sucks right now. As a real estate agent, I can tell you it's absolute dog shit. Especially in big urban areas. Good luck selling houses in certain cities on the West Coast, New York. Even Florida sucks. But again, why is the housing stocks not dumping? Let's get into the comfortable sector, the commodity sector, the easy one, the ones that you can just buy and trade around and manage them. And again, I still think there'll be pullbacks at the end of June, mid-late June. So ride these names up while you can. Dow, There we go. We talked about pullback. Ah, man, it's just refreshing to be in something that's easy. I like easy. I'm calling me lazy. CE, we talked about getting over the 100-day. Here you go. I mean, look at all these names. They got absolutely throttle bombed, and they're rallying back. Caterpillar, again, Caterpillar's been holding up pretty well, but look at this. Get over the 200-day. Well, the next stop, higher prices. Deere, this one's been just holding up pretty damn well, holding the 20-day. Nucor, talked about steel on dips. Here you go. Letter X going to get bought out at 55. I mean, there's really not much to say about it. N, look at this thing. Here's commodities breaking the downtrend. Now, again, after a big move like this, this consolidation is healthy. VALE, come on, 200-day. Get over the 200-day, and we got to go. Talked about all pullbacks of any decent amount worth it. Arrow, same thing. We like this one, getting up to the 17, 18 range. I actually pulled the trigger today and got some around, what was it, like 15.50. I still, even if it's, this is what people are like, oh, you're going to ride up to 17. I'm like, even $1.50. If you saw how many call options I have, they're dirt cheap. At $1.30, I got 160 calls. If it pops $1, you do the math. $16,000. I'll take it. Not a big risk either. Again, if I expect copper to go up higher, I mean, like this area is just asking to get tagged. We'll see if it happens or not. Again, it's tight stops. I've got July 20. No, that's 20. I'm looking at some other. I got the July 15s. Again, I got a long runway. I gave myself plenty extra. Again, just one last pop. I will take some profits and look to add on dips. FSQ, VLF, we talked about this one breaking out. Southern Copper, we like materials. Did I say that again? Hold on. Here you go. 200-day, come to daddy. FCX, building. Over the 200-day, you're welcome. Why would, I mean, again, go look at Arrow. Why the fudge not would we not get back to the 200-day? Or sorry, holding the 200-day. All these names over it, yeah, they look good. They're over it and going higher. Why not? Ride the party. Ride the wave. Ride the whatever. Allow it to go. URNJ, man, volatile as shit. I like this stuff on pullbacks, y'all. I talked about wanting to wait for the gap to fill to get it. Didn't get it, and then it ripped. Feel good about it pulling back. Okla, we talked about, like, I would like to buy this, but I'm not going to buy it at the highs. I think it is a cup and handle. But I'd be watching what happens here to 0.618 around the mid-40s. If we get it, great. If we don't, again, I let stocks come to me, and then I act. And then if they don't get there, I don't give a shit. That's why I look and flip through all of these names. Hopefully that's what people learn. CCJ, again, I've liked it in the 36 to 38 range. Am I going to chase it now? Fudge, no. Now, congratulations if you bought it. But again, like, is the risk of, oh, I'm going to go in and buy this thing after it's almost doubled? Fucking A. That's how you get killed. And again, it might not go anywhere. But imagine if you buy a stock and it goes nowhere while the rest of the market's doing shit. That, oh, man, it drives you nuts. Again, this is where experience comes. 20-plus years of trading. I've seen everything. Twice, at least. CF chopping around after a nice move. Mosaic, we talked about these after nice big up moves, consolidating. Let them play back. I mean, I'd be waiting for the gifts. FQM, we went heavy duty on this one. Bought stock and options. People were like, you're crazy. I'm like, dude, it pro-gapped. I bought it this day right here. I didn't get amazing prices at the low. I got in like the upper 31s and 32s. You're welcome. Now, again, I'd be watching what happens here because this thing can go absolutely fucking straight line move for at least 7-8 points. I'll take that. All day, what's easy? NTR, again, these names have been on fire, chopping around, no problem. AA, yeah, took some profits on it today. Am I expecting it to pull back? No. Could it? I'm just looking to take profit and expect to chop. Again, I had some June calls. Any weakness of significance, I would be buying the dip, especially at the end of next month. But again, I have a bunch of July calls on this. And again, I'm waiting to see what happens here and see if we can get up to this near-term target, 200-day, low 30s. Again, the options on this thing are very interesting because, again, you can tell people expect this, but one of the things they're going to do is make it hard on the options maker. And again, if the volume isn't, the market cap volume is easy to manipulate intraday because, again, these companies have been absolutely throttled. So play the game. Play the game. Look at all the volume down here and look at where we've come from. Big ass consolidate. Again, I'm not saying we're going to get to 100 next week, but would you be okay with riding something when we bought it down here? Would you be okay with buying, again, when the gap filled 25 to 35 every fucking day and twice on Tuesday? Kalu, again, another aluminum name leading up. MP, again, I like rare earth metals. We are up at some resistance. Can we break through it? I don't know. Keep an eye on this stuff. I mean, this is a double topper about to go absolutely bonkers. REMX, again, I'm expecting it to get a little higher. You've got the 200-day 41 area. Been a great move. If you bought this down here at the old recent range lows of 36 to 42, 41, again, don't get fucking greedy in the summer, but there's also great trades that are just simple. I love simple. Cliff talked about, again, I got to wrap this up. We talked about this, buying the extremes. Nice trade. All right, let's end it with our solar name, because we do have a solar name. Put a trade on. TAN, expecting to bounce, get the 200-day. Again, Sedge, I'm not a big fan of these names, but they seem to be doing all right. If you're trading them, I personally am not trading them. But again, it just confirms that to me, I think solar, if oil bounces, so will solar. Keep an eye on it. ENPH, again, the call volumes at first solar have been insane. And then it popped. Then it came back and it started doing it again. We talked about this trade. Talked about how every big red typically is followed by a green. You got the green. I put orders in by the 8 and 10 day. I didn't get all of them filled. If you look at this, I was hoping maybe we get a little lower. Got some call options that end this week. I'm just looking for a quick bounce. Again, I'm not investing, marrying this trade. HYG, again, market going to dump with corporate debt holding up. Nope. Oil chopping around after a nice little bounce. Here you go, 100, 200-day, UNG. Again, I hate this product. I don't want to talk about it. Again, the only trade is shorting KOLD. Excuse me. Let it burp. Yeah, and said any major bops. I mean, if you've been following the channel, you shorted this motherfucker in the 80s, and then you shorted on every major bop. Congrats. At this point, it's like just letting it play out. XOP, here we go. We talked about breaking the downtrend. You're welcome. You hit the downtrend, you consolidate, and then you break it. We said oil and gas names. Look at them. Again, if you bought the gush down in the 15, 16, feeling gushy. Feeling good. MPC, we talked about the gasoline names typically lead up, or at worst, they're going to chop around and top before oil tops. These names have not shown me a single damn reason to leave the oil sector. Again, buying dips. ExxonMobil, we talked about the 101 area. Ride this sucker up to $110. Congratulations. BP, I mean, all these names. You could have bought all the dips. Oxy, same thing. Buy the dip. Oh, nice little dividend today. 24 cents. Held up. I'd be watching that 45 area. Again, let me just speed this up. Devin, I mean, we talk about this. Buy the dip. And then, okay, you get your pops. Here you go. Apache. Was really hoping to see this lower. Look at that. Not happening. Lyondell base. Here's another one that we showed a double bottom on, essentially. Man, 52 to 60. Do you like easy money? I do. CVE, we talked about. I was really hoping I'd get a retest of the 50-day. Didn't get it. And that's what happens. It continues. It goes on without me. EQT, again, I like natural gas names, but I'm not going to chase up here. I'd like to see bigger pullbacks. We'll see. Last but not least, Flex LNG. Again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters, but when we hit the channel high, what does Dan do? He takes his profit. Now we're chopping around. Again, I think we will go higher, but man, it'd be a gift if we got the channel lows. Either way, again, these are the great easy trades. You move in and out and you move on, you find something else. If you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. Love you guys. Appreciate all the generous support, donations. You guys are amazing. You have a wonderful evening, and please, if you have questions, we've got answers. Why don't ask? Drop your ego and just ask. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.